Hey everybody, it's Shelly. Today I am just going to talk about interacting with other people and how the law of attraction fits into all of it. What are we supposed to do with that when we interact with other people and there's lots of contrast, and what is that all about? We start out in life with programming from the people that raise us. From 0 to 7, we're being how to behave, how not to behave, what is expected of us, how to survive for some of us, how to be loved better for other people. Like, we all get into that mode where our subconscious is being downloaded with all this programming on what we're doing here on this planet, having this human experience. And so then we go into life and we want other things, but we can't seem to break free from that programming. And so using the law of attraction to your advantage is about reprogramming all of that. So, with finances, you reprogram to know that there's more than enough, and you deserve abundance, and you get a new relationship with money. You let go of, your programming of, money doesn't grow on trees. It does. If you have a bunch of lumber, you can make money off of it. So just stuff like that. So how do other people fall into that? And so we can go into that with romantic relationships, friendships, relationships with our kids, relationships with our parents. So I've been seeing a few people that are really struggling, some friends on Facebook that are really struggling with getting out of relationships and feeling like they were so wronged in the relationship, and that they gave all they had and they got screwed over, kind of a thing. And that's a pretty normal reaction when you're sad and out of control and you can't control that other person, and you still love them and you still want them, but they don't want you anymore. And that whole interaction is a lesson happening. And you can either fall victim to it and be upset and blame the other person for hurting you and that you can never love again because you've been ripped apart. Or you can take that, just like I talked about yesterday, that contrast, and look at it as an opportunity for lessons and new solutions. And so that's what we're all here for each other for. We're all bumping up against each other, having all of these interactions, learning, teaching, being frustrated, loving, hating, fearing, excited about, like, all of that is happening. So when those situations happen where I see a lot of people on the law of attraction group saying, well, how can I attract my ex back? And how can I attract a specific person to call me tomorrow? And it's like, you can picture that, you can visualize that, but the truth is you really can't control that other person. The real control you have is how you respond to that, those feelings, and going to a better feeling place. The goal there, the ultimate goal, is to be so happy in your own life that when these people come along, they either complement your life and you let them in, or they don't complement your life and you let go of them. Or that, hey, these relationships are happening, and some of them are going to last your whole lifetime. You're going to have friends that you met in second grade and you're going to know them until the day you die. And then you're going to have like coworkers that you just totally click with. And then 6 months later, you're like, I don't even want to ever talk to them again. And what is that all about? Well, that's just about, you needed that person in your life for a minute to show you something, to maybe warn you about the next person that's coming. Like, maybe they weren't so bad, but there's somebody else coming that might, hack your bank account, but you've learned that lesson from that person. So you're not going to, let that other person in so far. Like, I'm a helper of people. And in my younger years, I was in like organized mentoring program, that was funded by grants, I believe. But so I was a volunteer that was they hooked you up with a family that was trying to get off the system. And I had like 2 families and that just like disappeared in the middle of the night. And I remember just thinking, what is their problem? Like, and then just getting over involved, like babysitting and all this stuff. And it's just like, you're not helping other people when you do everything for them. Like, you know, when I had kids, we were prepared to have kids. And does that mean that everybody's prepared to have kids? No, but you do what it takes, you know? And so just another example of something like that is I belong to several like buy, sell, trade groups because I'm a reseller. And a local person was like, hey, they like put all these like really high end like tents and sleeping bags and camping stoves and stuff that they wanted because they're homeless and they can't find employment because of the, you know, situation. And it's like, everybody's hiring right now here in this area. And I just put that, like, help yourself. Like, I have no problem helping you if you're helping yourself. But if you're just, you know, sitting there complaining, then you have some major lessons to learn. And maybe I am the person that is going to help you realize that, like, take responsibility for yourself. So that's the truth in relationships too. When you're frustrated with that other person, instead of lashing out at them, you can go, wait a minute, what can I do to better this? Or is it better for me just to walk away from this? That's a huge thing sometimes. You know, and I see people say, well, I've known this person for 5 years and I don't want to waste 5 years, so I'm going to keep working at it. It's not a waste if you've learned something from it. If you've learned the smallest thing from it, like, from now on, I'm going to put the toilet seat down. Like, that's a lesson, you know, like, or it could be something huge. Like, I'm not going to share a bank account with a person again because, you know, they took me for everything. So it's just like, those are all lessons and they're opportunities to do better. So that's what other people's roles are in this whole thing. And then on the whole other end, there are people that are just amazing and you meet them and you just, like, from the minute you start talking to them, you're just like, we're gonna be friends forever. I have friends that I went to high school with and even grade school with that I don't talk to for months at a time. And then when I talk to them, we just like start right back up. There's no like, oh, we should have spent more time. No, we're just like, hey, we're both busy. We're doing our thing. It's so good to connect with you. Like, there's those relationships, and those for me are the best ones. I just love those. I love those relationships where you're just like, you know, I haven't talked to you in a month, but it's so good to hear from you and it's so good to talk to you. And I look forward to talking to you again, but it's not like we're obligated, you know. I think that's a really good lesson is, don't make other people feel obligated and don't feel obligated, like, to the point where you are miserable because you're like, oh, I gotta go do this for this person, or I said I would do that. And, you know, no, you have to get to a point where people either compliment your life or they don't compliment your life, period. That's like, you see people, well, I want to find my soulmate or my twin flames because that'll complete my life. A relationship can complement your life, but it's not going to complete your life. If you're looking for someone else to complete you, you're going to be disappointed. When I always picture it like handing over my happiness. Like, here you go, take good care of this and keep me happy. It's like, I don't want anybody to do that to me. I have broke off relationships because I don't want to be in that role. So yeah, I hope that helps. We're just all here bumping around, having this human experience. I feel like when we go back to source, we're all just pure positive energy. So this is all just a lesson in expanding and finding new ways of loving and solving things. So yeah, when you just look at it, to let go, it's so much easier to let people in because you know you're confident enough to let them go if you need to. And it's just a great lesson. It's a good place to be. And we all get hung up with people. We all do, you know, and nobody's perfect. You know, there's very few enlightened people on the planet that let go of all of that. So you have a good Friday, a good weekend, and I will be back on Monday. Bye.